And welcome back to another edition of the On the Board Sports Podcast. I am your host, William Chiarucci, a.k.a. We'll See, coming to you from Long Island, New York. Yes, it's quarantine season still, but hey, listen, we got to make the best of a bad situation right now. But I hope everybody's doing all right. And listen, the bottom line here is one day at a time. Let's all make it through together, and let's just do whatever it is that we got to do in order to survive. But I'm joined by a very special guest. Joining me is a former NHL defenseman and Olympic gold medalist winner. And basically, he's known for being a hard-hitting defenseman. I'm talking with the one and only Darius Kasparaitis. Darius, thank you for coming on. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. I can't complain.
Awesome. Awesome, Darius. So during this whole quarantine time right now, how are you managing to make out right now?
Well, I'm doing great. I live in Florida, near Miami. So, I live near water, near ocean. So no complaints. We have beautiful weather. We have things to do outdoors all the time. I don't know if you know, I have 6 kids, so they're keeping me busy. But, I have everything for the kids to play, basketball court, pool. So it's the best place, to have a quarantine is in Florida because, we're always outdoors and we always, playing and doing a lot of things.
Absolutely. 6 kids. You could start up your own NHL team right there if you wanted to.
Yeah, it'd be good. They help me financially.
Awesome, man. Hey, as far as yourself, though, where did the love for hockey begin for you, number one? And number two, how did it all manifest for you?
Well, I think I fell in love because, of the hockey equipment. I saw boys in my neighborhood, older boys that joined hockey groups in Lithuania. They used to wear hockey equipment and they walked to the ring because I grew up in a small town. So I always felt, envious to see people, wearing the hockey equipment. And then when the coach came to my school and asked who wants to play hockey, I was one of the first kids to say I want to join. So that's how I started. And I don't know. I was 8 years old, and I remember first time ever skating on the ice. I had no issues, skating right away. I had some kind of talent because, I was like shocked. I was shocked actually that I skated so good right from the beginning, So, that's how it started, And then slowly, when you start playing, I think my competitiveness, I guess I was a very competitive kid. So I realized, I always wanted to be the best. And slowly, you have small goals, and then you want to be the best on your team. Then you want to be the best, on the next team, and then you want to make to the next level. So that's how I end up slowly moving from Lithuania to Russia, from Russia to NHL.
That's awesome. And like I alluded to before, you won a gold medal in the 1992 Winter Olympics. Can you just go through that moment as far as just winning a gold medal? That's awesome to win a gold medal.
Yeah, it was one of the best memories in my, hockey career. I thought, I was still young. I was 19, so I thought, there could be a lot of winnings in my life, which, I had some, but winning the gold, my dream came true. I could never imagine, 11 years before that I'm going to play in the Olympics, become Olympic champion. So first of all, I was happy to make the team, then I was happy to go to Olympics. But then, when you win an Olympic gold medal, that's, you cherish that for the rest of your life. So I feel like, it's not like I got lucky, but, I have something to brag on now for the rest of my life.
What was, as far as a challenge goes during your journey, you're drafted top 5 overall, you win a gold medal, and you get drafted by the Islanders. And the Islanders, your first year, they make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And one memory that everybody has of you is you basically, you got cross-checked from behind by Mario Lemieux. And then everybody just, you hit Mario back and you get Mario back again in a matter of seconds. What was that like in that it's just going out there and playing in your rookie year, going up against one of the top NHL players in the playoffs at that time?
I know. I think growing up in the Soviet Union, I think we had different idols in hockey. So I don't really watch NHL games. So I didn't really like. I knew that Mario was one of the best players. We all knew about Lemieux, Gretzky, Messi when I was playing in Russia. But same time, I came to the United States. I didn't really care about who I play against. I just play. I realized I can play hard, and I realized that people admire my style. So I feed off of the energy of the crowd, especially playing in national team. And I now when I look at the video, I think Mario got the penalty right away. I don't think I was that upset, but you just act on emotions and you fall through with the first instinct. So he was cool, to see the crowd going crazy, and it was cool that people kind of gave us no chance beating Pittsburgh Penguins, and we won in the game 7, with David Wallach's goal. So I that was my first year, so I thought it's gonna be like that every year. We're gonna win. We're gonna go to because I'm used to winning playing in Russia, so I thought it's gonna be like that in the NHL. But unfortunately, it's very hard to go that high up in playoffs. And I realized that after my next 14 seasons that it was just it's a hard thing to do to win a cup.
Yes, it's one of the more tougher formats in all professional sports to go out there and play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And as far as your playing career goes, after you played from the Islanders, you got traded over to Pittsburgh. You played with the aforementioned Mario Lemieux. What was that like playing over in Pittsburgh during that time?
Well, first of all, I was very shocked that I got traded. I thought I'm going to be Islander for the rest of my life as a player, and I was really upset. I was basically crying. I remember a phone call from Mike Milbury around 9 o'clock at night. I was packing for the West Coast trip. I think we're flying to Los Angeles. And he called me, told me he traded me to Pittsburgh. And I was like, are you joking? Because I realized, I knew how much they hated me in Pittsburgh. And I knew that, how are you going to go there and look at, be with those guys in the same locker room? Because I've been, chasing them, abusing them for the past 2 years. And 3 years, as an Islander. But when I got there, it was awesome, going from Islanders that were struggling and with the fisherman logo and all this chaos with the fake owner and everything, going to Pittsburgh, which was financially not very stable team, but the star caliber of that team was unbelievable, So joining that team and seeing the guys, seeing the talent and how they play and how they prepare for the games and how relaxed they are, how they make hockey, fun. I was shocked. I made friends. I made all guys became all my friends, and it was easy for me to play there. I remember coming from Pittsburgh, from New York. I was minus, I think, 7 or minus whatever, some minus 11, and then at one point playing with Lemieux, Jagr, and Francis, and Kevin Hatcher was my partner. I was like plus 50.
Right.
So I remember game in San Jose and. I guess against the Ducks and Sharks, I was plus 10 in 2 games. It was insane. Those guys were so talented. All you have to do is just give a puck to them. So it was a good experience. Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh made me feel very special. Because the Pittsburgh fans, it's like Islander fans. They're very blue collar, and they appreciate the style that I play.
They were ranked number 1. I don't know if you saw that report or not. Pittsburgh Penguins fans were ranked number 1 as far as hockey fans go by Forbes and fan rankings or whatever it was in their article. So I guess during this quarantine period right now, they really have nothing to really write about except just looking at fandom experiences. But Darius, you played at the Igloo, you played at Nassau Coliseum, you played at Madison Square Garden, you even played at the Pepsi Center for a little bit in Colorado. What, out of all the buildings that you played in your NHL career, which building would be your favorite?
Well, every building, Nassau Coliseum was my first building. It felt, like that was my, first home. But, playing in Madison Square Garden, even when I was playing for the Islanders or Pittsburgh, going there and, feeling that, the all celebrity status when you walk into the garden, you know, and just seeing all these pictures, all the you know, famous you know, artists that you know, play in Madison Square Garden. You know, it's a special place to play. And when I play for the Rangers, you know, going there almost every day, and you know, and walking up the ramp. I always remember walking up the ramp, getting ready for the game. It was just, you know, one of the, you know, great experience in my career, because, you know, Garden, you know, I know the Islander fans gonna hate it, but, you know, that's a, you know, one of the world most famous arena. So you know, that's one of the probably, you know, even watching Last Dance with Michael Jordan, you know, he had a special, every time you go play in the Garden, he had a special, you know, he prepared differently, you know, because you want to prove it to New York fans that, you know, where the Mecca is, you know, like basketball Mecca.
Right.
You know, it's a good, you know, any stadium I play, it's a good place to play. You know, Coliseum, you know, it's always going to be a memories because I started there, but, you know, playing in Igloo and watching Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, you know, because it was you know, happening there. It's a cool place too. You know, it was now if you go there, you probably be like, oh my God, how we even you know, play there, because it's so different. But with the new buildings being built, but it is what it is. You know, you can, as a professional player, you can choose one. You know, I can say, you know, I love playing in Montreal, you know, because it's a neutral. But I can't, you know, I can't make my Pittsburgh fans mad because I say, you know, the Rangers were my favorite. But I think Madison Square Garden it's one of the top places to play for any athlete.
Speaking of the 30 for 30 documentary on Michael Jordan, I'm sure you probably watched it. Millions of Americans have probably watched this documentary happening. I'm sure it brought you back to memories of just seeing some of the things that happened with the Bulls, and you being a professional player. What was that like, seeing some of those memories again? From, you know, I know you're a professional hockey player, but at that point in time, you know, just watching that, MJ is well known across the world. What are your thoughts on the 30 for 30 doc?
No, it's crazy. You know, I remember, you know, being in the United States at that time. I came in '92, so I remember the Bulls were dominating in basketball. I think I even watched some games when the Knicks played Bulls in playoffs. I used to go, you know, in the Garden and watch a couple of games, because, you know, playing for the Islanders after the 92-93 season, or 93-94, or 93-94, we never made playoffs. So we had a lot of time, you know, to do other things. But, you know, seeing how, you know, I think any athlete, professional athlete, is very competitive. But, you know, Jordan, I think, you know, seeing him, how competitive he was and how much he demanded from his players, it's insane, you know, because I can be competitive, but can only demand things from me, you know, because, you know, but he was on a different level, you know, he was very talented, first of all, and then he knew, it's insane, you know, see all these things, you know, how they build a team and how they, it's incredible, you know.
Absolutely is 100%. Speaking of building teams, and, you know, the coaches, Phil Jackson, one of the best coaches to ever do it. In your mind, who is the best hockey coach to ever do it, in your opinion? As far as your playing career goes, who was the best coach you played for?
Oh, NHL, you know, I think I really appreciate Al Arbor in my beginning as an Islander, because he made me feel very welcome. You know, he was tough on me sometimes, but most of the time, you know, it made me feel like, you know, I felt like it was my dad, you know, and I felt safe. You know, sometimes when you have a coach, you know, you're afraid of him, and you know, you want to deal with that guy. But Al Arbor, I think, because of him, you know, I had a very good start, a very quick start in the NHL. I think he realized my talent and my passion for the game. You know, when I came to the Islanders, I expected probably to go to a minor team to get, you know, to get going, get used to it. You know, I remember I arrived October 3rd, and I already played October 6th, the first game of the season. I didn't do any preseason games, nothing, you know. So I think Al gave me a big chance, and I took it, you know. And I knew that he loved me, you know, you know, my character, and you know, he always, you know, he always let me know how he feels about me. But next day, you know, if he was mad at me, he would always come back the next day and would, you know, treat me with respect and explain to me, you know, why he was mad, you know. So it's you know, he's one of the greatest coaches I played for.
Awesome, awesome, right there. How about favorite teammate? Did you have a favorite teammate that you played with?
Well, I had a lot of them, my teammates. But I think, Scarlett Chance was my, roommate. He taught me a lot, my English and everything. I think the guy was so annoyed with me because I used to ask him all these questions with the dictionary, and ask him what that means. Show me that, he had a lot of patience teaching me. We were same age. We play against each other. Then I think playing in Pittsburgh, I love playing with Ian Moran. He was a great teammate. Playing for the Rangers, Barnaby was cool, Matthew Barnaby, even Eric Lindros, when I played with him, I realized how cool, how good guy, he's a very good guy. He's very humble and very good individual. It's too bad that he had a tough time, with all the concussions. But he was a great teammate.
Absolutely, absolutely. Darius, you talk about, being a hockey player, you talk about everything that we just talked about. Just want to go over the AHL here for a second. They canceled their season with regards to this whole coronavirus and the way how the NHL is looking about to starting the season back up again. They're talking about doing the whole four. They're looking to do neutral cities at this point in time, which is fine. I get that 100%. But in your mind, you played overseas during the lockout in 405. Is there any sort of like similarities here at all, like as far as not playing? And how tough is it for a player to start up, then end their season, suspended the season, and then try and come back in this? So, what's your thoughts on this whole situation right now?
Well, I think it's tough. We all want to watch hockey, but I feel like it's getting to the point that even for the players, you don't know, like you kind of hanging in the limbo. We all all the players are training. That's what we do. Even I'm close to 50, I still train every day and try to stay in shape. So I feel like guys are ready to play, but I feel like what about the fans? What about the home teams and all the other things? I don't know. I feel like you gotta let it go, or you have to just get back and be at least do the way that it's supposed to be. You have a home teams, you have away teams. It's just I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be a huge mess, and it's very hard. I follow Premier League, English soccer, so also they try to figure out some kind of system because they have a big TV money. But I feel like the leagues who don't have the big TV money, they just cancel it. So I feel like I don't know. I want to watch games on TV, but at the same time, it just if they're gonna let people in the stands, probably not. So it's just what's the point then? If you don't, what are you playing for? As a player, when you play in an empty stadium, it's horrible. It's like it's like
playing in a practice.
It's like a pickup game,
Yeah.
You're probably gonna hear a lot of bad words. They have to bleep it all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, it's just absolutely nuts what's going on. And, with the AHL canceling its season, maybe some other leagues will step in the right direction there. But we'll see what happens as time moves on. But as far as yourself, though, Darius, talk about the end of your career where you said you hit rock bottom when you got demoted down to the Rangers minor league affiliate. What was that like getting demoted like that, and just talking about the mental health of just players in general, just going through that?
Well, it's tough, when you an established player, with a good career and some kind of image that people love, and then you suddenly get sent down to the minors. First of all, because you're not in game shape, and second of all, because your salary is too high. It's hard, it's hard. I remember going there, driving my Bentley from Manhattan to Hartford. It was, it was weird, and being, I don't know, I was like 35, and all the kids were on the team 20, it's tough, and but that was, one of the tough times in my life, and as a player and as a person, But it's something that I went through, and fortunate that I didn't finish my NHL career on the pedestal, or as other players do. But same time, it gave me a chance to play in Russia a little bit and enjoy hockey there. But it's something that something that I don't get any grudges. That's what it is. I think Rangers did a lot of things like that to the older players. I think they signed a lot of good players, and then eventually they were sent them down, or try to basically get them out of the team somehow, which is a business decision, but it is what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think they're doing to Lundqvist right now the same thing. They're not going to send him down probably because he's a Hall of Fame goalie. But at the same time, they have a new goalies, which I understand. Every team has to do what's best for the team. But I wish that had some kind of integrity that, if the guy gives all his career to the same team, that somehow treat him with respect and, let him retire and let him play out his contract in some kind of, capacity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said, Darius. As far as right now though goes with you, what are you doing with yourself right now, post-playing career?
I'm working in the real estate development business for now. I'm still, I really want to get back into hockey, scouting maybe, or maybe players mental development. Players developing something like that. We work with younger guys because I have a lot of experience in that field. I've been in recovery for a long time, over 10 years. So I have a lot of, advice for younger players. I've been married 3 times, so and things like that. I can share my experience. But at the same time, I'm raising the 6 kids. So my youngest is going to be 3 next Sunday. So it's very hard for me to commit something that I have to move on my family. It's not enough money to be made to support my kids and my, if I have to move out of my house in Florida and pursue my career as a coach. Because I really made a decision to be first most important thing, to be a father and be available for my children. Because, even my oldest was born in Pittsburgh for my previous marriage. I barely, saw her, growing up. Today, I've been fortunate seeing my kids, grow and be part of their lives. I think I spend more time with my kids, than any, than my wife or anyone. I really, it's hard, but I really enjoy it because this is it's a gift. It's a gift to have time and spend time with the kids on a daily basis.
That's awesome. Doing what you're doing right now. It's totally awesome. Couple more questions for you, Darius. I know you're a busy guy. As far as watching NHL players right now, you mentioned the fact that you're looking to go through, if you had to go through mental health. Obviously, Robin Leonard came out last year and talked about his whole mental health scenario with what happened with him. Do you get phone calls from players right now as far as like, hey, I need some advice, or do you have like a favorite player that you look at that you watch on the games and say, hey, this guy reminds me of me almost in a sense?
You know what? Not really, because I think you have to be certified to do things like that if you want to work for the league. So I keep in touch with some former players that went through some tough time in their lives, and we text, we talk. It's something that you have to understand that even we talk about the goalie Leonard. It's sometimes as a young athlete, you don't realize that you have a disease that you can basically, it's no cure, so you have to really admit it that you have it and then try to seek help, because to fight it, any athlete wants to fight something. You feel like, you can control things, but it's just how some people are. So, the earlier you understand, the easier for you, is going to live this life. And, I feel it's about me. I feel very lucky. Not lucky, but I didn't really understood about the disease of addiction, but I understood one thing, that when I came to New York, I realized I have some, I thought I was like, party guy and, happy-go-lucky. But then I realized, I decided not to drink anymore. So in 1994, I remember quit drinking, and I didn't drink for a long time. I didn't drink all my, when I played in NHL, I didn't drink all my career. I never drank. But eventually, you discover other things like opiates and things like that, which you thought that was normal, and it's okay to do it because, it was prescribed by doctor after some surgeries. And eventually, you just replace one thing with another, but without knowledge. Now, if I knew right from the beginning that you can't do anything being, who you are, I'd probably be, maybe have a better career, but at the same time, I never feel regrets about my past because, that's what made me who I am today, and I feel like, I learned a lot, without making mistakes, you don't learn. And you just have to let it go, and move on and understand that, that's what it is. So like for now, I became vegan 3 years ago, and that's like, you open up my mind. I lost a lot of weight first of all, but I always struggled with the weight when I played NHL. I remember from the beginning, Al Arbor used to bring the scale almost on a daily basis to check my weight. I would be like, one day it would be 210, next day it would be 220. And I trained so hard, but I would never keep the weight down. But I realized it's about eating, eating habits. And
Right.
I truly believe if I was vegan when I was 20, I probably be still playing now, which I'm thinking to do. That's how crazy I am. I was thinking maybe I play for Lithuania when I'm 50 to just show people that no matter how old are you, how old you are, you can still compete and be in shape.
Right.
And listen, I run because of the quarantine problem, because all the gyms are closed. I run almost 60 miles a week every week.
Yeah.
So it's impressive that I can still do that and have this drive to to improve. And it's all about what I learned over my years being an athlete.
Absolutely. Hey, you could probably be Gordie Howe playing until what, 60 years old if you wanted to, just about.
Come on, Gordie Howe played until he was 50, not 60.
Well,
So Gordie Howe is Gordie Howe. Nobody,
nobody's gonna be like Gordie
I
Howe.
want to be like, I want to be good.
Right.
I want to make the difference.
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of making a difference, I'm sure you watch plenty of NHL games prior to this whole suspended season. Who is one player that you look at and that you watch and say, wow, this guy reminds me of me almost when I was playing?
Come on. There's no one like me.
Well, how about a favorite player that you...
I don't even see guys like that anymore, I don't think there's any more guys like, me or Matthew Barnaby or Sean Avery. You don't see guys like that anymore because, it was part of the 90s, those guys fought, but, they drove people crazy. I don't think you don't have guys like that. Sometimes, I don't know. I saw this guy in Russia, I think he was drafted by Colorado Avalanche. His name is Medvedev, Alexander Medvedev. Wait, I forget. Andrei Medvedev. Andrei Medvedev is a defenseman. He has a great hip check, and he uses this all the time. So he's a bigger guy too. So sometimes Orlov reminds me of my hits because he can do the hip check. But otherwise, hockey is not as physical. It's still physical, but it's not. It's the art of hitting. It kind of disappears because right now, every time you hit someone, people get like, oh my God, what happened? He's gonna get put in jail for that, or he's gonna be suspended. So I feel like guys playing differently because it's a different game. But game is still very hard and very physical, but it's not as crazy as it used to be.
I got you. So basically, Darius, how do the people follow you on social media?
Well, no, I have Instagram, which I post some pictures. I don't really know if you, but I think I have D Kasparaitis, my Instagram page, and then I have a Facebook, and I don't really, I have I think 6,000 followers or 6,400. I increased I think 1,000 in 1 month. something's happening. But yeah, I'm not crazy about this stuff, but it's always nice to share your life with other people.
Right.
And sometimes sometimes I just feel like shutting down and not doing anything. But sometimes it's nice to post, and I see a lot of people appreciate me and they love me. Who I am, and sometimes only I have issues when you post something with a Rangers jersey or Islanders or Pittsburgh, and people go crazy, take your shit off and things like that. But that's why I'm wearing a Swedish club, ICO,
Right.
colors today, and I have my shorts. Oh, Pittsburgh!
All good, man. You probably picked out those shorts when you woke up and be like, yeah, I'm just going to put them on anyway.
I was sleeping with them. No,
all
but,
good.
I wear Islanders, I wear Rangers. I always wear my team colors all the time that I play with.
Right.
When I run or I walk around, I always like to represent my colors.
All good, Darius. Darius, man, thank you so much for sacrificing some time to come talk with us, man. Really appreciate it.
Stay safe.
You too, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.